Buonasera, welcome to Board Game Machine. This is Daniele Di Gemini speaking in this Italian stream channel dedicated mostly to Warhammer 40k. This evening we have a superstar guest at our channel with
You're
a
too kind.
with a nice wide smile, Mr. Nassim Fouchane. Did I spell it?
Yes, you did. This is why I love Europeans.
Fouchane,
There we go.
but also known as Fettuccine.
Fettuccine. I just thought it was appropriate. Just it's
Fettuccine.
Italian. I was like fettuccine. Usually fettuccine, but I was like, let's make it fettuccine since it's the Italian special.
Mr. Fettuccina. Okay. But I will call you Nassim
Oh, no problem.
because it's a nice name.
Oh, thank
How are
you.
you, Nassim?
I'm very well. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me on again.
Did you run to home or through
No,
work?
no. I've been in bed for the last few hours, fighting a cold. I've got tissue right next to me just in case.
Ah, cool.
Just
So we are really excited at the idea that you are joining our event next month, the Italian Masters. It's an event for super nerds like me who want to enjoy cool games of 40k with great players. So we are used to invite people who are more or less involved in this kind of business, such as you. First of all, before talking about the game and your way of approaching, I would like to know how you did stumble in this crazy world of miniatures, war, soldiers.
yeah, yeah. So I think it was like everyone is like back when they were in school. They go past the Games Workshop store, Warhammer store, what it's called now. You see somebody playing some cool games. You're like, what's that? So I remember. I think when I was 15, 16, I bought like a box of Space Marines and a box of Guardsmen because I saw somebody playing with them and I was like, that looked really cool. We had like little guardsmen and marines everywhere. I was like, that looks cool. It was very expensive. It was probably for a 15-year-old. I think that at that time cost me like £40, which was like, oh my god, that's so much, if not more. I was like, oh, I can't afford this. Um, and then I left it, dropped it, and then in one of my friends got back into the game in 2018, late 2018. And he was like, "Oh, Nassim, remember this?" And I was like, "Oh, yes, that's pretty cool." I had a little bit more money, not much more. I was like, "Okay." He got me back into it, and then he stopped after a few months. But I continued it because I was like, "Oh, this is pretty cool." Um, I made the mistake of looking at a box of guardsmen and thinking, I'll collect these guys. It's really cool. The humans and there's aliens everywhere. I'll play the humans." And I was like, how expensive can it be to, have loads of humans? Oh, little I did not know. Um, so yeah, I think in that regard, I bought like a box of Scions, or Tempest Scions, what they're called now, like Yarick, like a Taurox. I bought a start collecting box of that plus like Yarick in November 2018. Um, so no, it feels like a long time ago now. It's only been 6 years. It was like really
But
long time ago, like ancient history. Um, so I bought those. Went to play my first game. They said it's 2,000 points. I counted my points. I was like, I'm at 400, and I spent like £80. What is going on? Um, So yeah, that's how I got into the game. Very expensive. Very
so,
expensive.
so your first love was with Astra, so-called Astra Militarum.
Yeah, Imperial Guard, good old Yarick. One of the Tempestus Scion start collecting box and Yarick, and another box of Guardsmen just for good measure. Um, very expensive, and the Codex. I think I and this was at a Games Workshop store. It wasn't like a discounted store because I was still new. I didn't know anything. Um, is I think I think I remember the total was like £130, and I was like, I can't. This is too much. This is so expensive. I was like, I was like, what's going on here? Um, but yeah, so that was how I got into the game, and then gradually progressed from there, buying more guard and more guard. Um, the guard didn't break, but my wallet was breaking. So,
Cool.
um,
But you don't play only Imperial Guard, as far as I know, no?
no. Now I play quite a wide range of it. God was my first love. It was kind of the lore as well. For Warhammer 40k really got me interested in it as well. I'm a very big lore geek, even though it isn't usually the case with a lot of competitive players that I know, especially in the UK.
Yeah.
Um, so like yeah, now I play like quite a wide range of armies. I think up until 18 months ago, I only played I played Space Marines and Astra Militarum. Those are like the main two, and then since then I've played a bit of everything like Genes to the Codes, a bit of Custodes, a bit of Eldar, um, Tau as well.
Hmm.
Like
How
been
do you rate Tau now?
they're pretty good. I actually do quite like them. I generally do. I just own zero Tau models, so and no Tau models. Best
Uh,
Tau 2022, no Tau models.
so somebody's you borrow them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I anything that I play that is not Astra Militarum or to be fair, even Marines is all borrowed. It's just not own
So
none of it.
it's a
Yeah,
common way of I mean enjoying the tournaments with other armies. No, everybody does.
yeah. It's stress free as well. I don't have to do last minute painting. It's great.
Yes, I also have few armies and many painters which I chase for having them done, but I couldn't do by myself now.
Oh God, it's too much.
Anyway, so you, Nikolai, our common friend, was telling me you are very high in a rank, which was name is ETC. Would you be so kind to explain what is this world ranking,
Yeah,
how calculated, and how can
yes,
people enter in this ranking?
yeah. So the ITC this last season I ended fifth, and this season I ended second. Essentially, what it is, it's the independent tournament circuit, the national tournament circuit. I'm not sure which one, where it's quite westernized. It's mainly like the UK and America. What you see, you also see Australia a little bit, Canada, um, but essentially the tournament organizer can reach out to members that Frontline Gaming was running it, which are the American boys. It's now GW that's running it. They made the announcement at LVO this year. Essentially, a tournament organizer can reach out to them, ask for their event to be registered underneath that, and depending on how large your event is and how many rounds it is, so an event like LGT or LVO, where there's
Hmm?
players coming from all across the world and are have a lot of rounds. So standard GTs will have 5 to 6 rounds. These will be like 10 round events. You get a certain set amount of points for where you end in the rankings, and essentially what it does is this tracks six um your six highest scored points events that you have.
Okay.
So like let's say you do really well at 6 events, you do really bad at another 6 events. Pardon me. It will track your top six scores and then compare that against everybody else's in the world. To events that have been registered by the ITC. Um, there's also something now which is from what the boys at StatCheck do, which is ELO, which I guess is a more familiar term. So it's like I don't know if you've played, I guess MOBA games like League of Legends, and I know like is one example where it,
Yeah.
where you get a certain amount of points. Let's say you beat somebody that's better than you get more points. If you lose more, then you drop in points. They're doing that, which is hyping up in a lot of popularity as well. But yes, in regards to the ITC, that is one of the ways and how it's tracked. It's similar to, I guess, how people track. I don't know if it's poker. I think it was designed around like poker world rankings, something around that, which is very American, to be fair. Um, but yes,
Looks really cool. But you nominated League of Legends. This was my question. You don't only play 40K, I guess. In your
no, no. It,
what else do you play?
so I have Steam, so I play a wide range of game. To be fair, a lot of it is 40k nowadays. It used to be a little bit more wide range, but like games like Total War, like Total War Warhammer. Um, I play like League of Legends when I really, feel annoyed and I want to be more annoyed. I'll play League of Legends, as you do. As the League of Legends has that effect on everyone, I think. Um,
Yes.
just it's terrible, but I'm addicted to it. So just like
You are
much like
addicted
Warhammer.
to that.
Yeah, exactly. Just like Warhammer. Well, but Warhammer eats up most of my addiction, so it's fine.
Yeah,
Balances out.
I'm amazed by uh, your. I mean, in 2018, you started the game with few models, basically, no?
Yeah, that's
As, as,
November 2018. So
as
late,
far as
late
I
2018.
understood, but your growth was really fast. And which was your routine? Which was your training I mean, to rise so quick into the
Yeah. So
competitive.
yeah, so I think one of the things is that like I was looking at it the other day, like a lot of like because as you do when you start to collect more, you want to stop playing with your models, stop playing like the models that you own, so just collecting them. And I was like enjoyed playing games. Enjoyed game of strategy such as chess, like Risk, and other games like those, etc. Um, and because of that, I started going to a few more events earlier on. And as you do when you're new to the game and play events, you lose, and you lose a lot.
It can happen, yes.
Yes, and I was like, okay, don't like losing, very competitive in that regard. So I was like, okay, mm, all right. Um, so I
I need to do
tried,
something.
yeah. So like I started doing more research. What's good in the meta? What's that? What's this? How do you play? What's screening? What's the screening mean? What of this?
Yes.
um, and then I went over to university. And then lockdown happened, and naturally, I was a student that didn't have a job, that was in university, living alone, and had all of the free time in the world. And I came and I came across something that was called Tabletop Simulator (TTS). Um,
We call it a perfect storm.
perfect. Is that what you call it? um,
So
where I played a lot of TTS, and I still do play. Like nowhere near as much. Um, but during the time where essentially I was in university, I played a lot of TTS. If I was to tell you how many hours I have on TTS today, it'd be a bit embarrassing. But I
oh,
played.
and now
So
I'm curious.
yeah, so today, if I bring it up here, today on TTS,
Uh-huh.
but most of this time also, like sometimes I'll forget to switch off I'll forget to close TTS, stuff like that. But even then, I have a 3,051 hours on TTS.
Fuck.
Yes. Yeah, it's a lot. But a lot of that came from when I was like I didn't have much time to do during lockdown. I think I easily accumulated like
Yes, yes.
half of that time minimum during like a year, just over a year, just because I just had a lot of spare time. But it was just a lot of hard work. If
I
I
believe.
had to say anything, rather than actual natural talent. at a game. Just a lot of hard work,
Yes, yes.
banging my head against the wall and trying to figure something out.
So basically, you had this combination of events that brought you to put yourself in depth of this hobby.
Hmm.
But as far as I understood, you also belong to the UK national team
Hmm.
for WTC. Did you
Yeah,
come last summer to Mechelen?
yeah. So last year during 2013, 2023, I was selected to play on the England WTC team. Hoping to make it again for this year. Fingers crossed, we'll see. And essentially, yeah, went over to Mechelen. Played Death Watch at the time. Um, for Team England, we made it. We were able to, I guess, come. I think it was fourth or fifth in the end. Only drawing. We drew against Spain
Mhm.
and America, and lost to Poland, unfortunately, in at the last part. But got there. Got very far there, which was nice. And yeah, so I played for the team. Hoping to make it again this year. We'll have to see. I think they'll be going to a top 16 sometime either this month or next month.
Mhm. Listen, Nassim, I would like to ask you. In UK, you have such a huge community, and how do you select 8 players with such a mammoth community? Which
It's
is
tough.
yeah, I'm really, because in Italy we basically we make a tournament between all people interested. The team who wins elects the new captain, and
Mhm.
then he's in charge of selecting the players, and that's all.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I guess to take you because I'm still quite new to this process. I only been there last year, but I guess one of the ways that we do that we do it is that currently the captain Chewy, as we call him, Anthony Chew, um, what he does is we have a Discord open and like also advertise it on Facebook as much as possible. And we just when we from what I've seen last year and this year as well, is open up to the general public. Anybody who wants to apply for the team can apply for the team. Um, I guess just before we go to that, a step before that, the captain is voted by members of the current team and also people that played on who played on the team up to I think 1 year or 2 years ago, all have a vote on who the captain will be. So just so for example, if I don't play this year, I would still have a vote on who the captain for next year would be because I played last year.
We
As
have a
as a,
votation for the captain, for the new captain.
yeah, there's it's an election and it's not just this person is the captain because they won an event. This is like this person is the captain because out of the last 2 to 3 teams, the majority of the people that were on team and Team England voted for this person and they won the captaincy. Of course,
Okay.
there's certain restraints on who can become captain and who can't. Don't know too much more about that in that regard. Um, but yes, so that's how the captain is selected. Then after that, after the captain is selected, they do their manifestos, like what they aim to achieve, etc., etc. I think that's also part of their captaincy, like run for president or run for captain as well. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's the best way to do it. And then after that, they open up the registration. So anybody who wants to apply, play for the team, either as a coach, as a player, is welcome to apply. There's, I think, applications are open from like a month after WTC, or a few weeks after WTC, um, until I think they're open for like pardon me, for like 4 or maybe 6 weeks that they're open. It's like anybody who wants to play for the team and
So
is interested to play
basically,
for the team.
up to the end of September, correct?
Yeah, I think so. I'll be honest. I usually just apply straight away and then I just don't look at it.
Okay.
So Time is a foreign concept to me in that regard. Um,
You don't
but
like paperwork.
exactly, I don't want to wait till the end. I'm just get it done now, sorted,
I
easy.
want to join. That's all. Okay.
Yeah, and so it's open up to everyone, and then it's narrowed down to a top 16 from the people that have applied through. What we have now is like so you keep like the team updated. It's like the types of armies that you're playing, like reports. Like for myself, for example, like in our Discord, what we have is like to give an example, everybody that's applied for the team for 2024 have their own channel. And I guess to give my one as my one for example, um, I like games that have these good quality players with like these members of other WTC teams, or maybe like an event that I went to, write a report how each game went, what my thoughts were for each game, how I thought the list that I played performed overall, and that sort of analysis um, and feedback you're able to register back to the team. But on top of that, also the I guess quality of results that you're able to bring on a consistent basis over a wide range of armies. Because at the end of the day, I don't think any one team wants a person that is a one trick pony, because what happens if that person's one army gets nerfed and they can't play anything else? So there's definitely an interest in you can play the best army in the game, great. Can you also play this army and perform with it? Okay, if you or you really like shooting armies, great. What happens if we put you on a melee army? Like, and be able to perform with a wide range of armies consistently is another thing that we do look out for. Um, and then after that, it's up to the captain's discretion on who makes the top 16, who would be good coaches. And yeah, that's like my understanding of it so far. Again, I'm still quite new, so I'm not able to give as much detail, but that's at least how it's perceived on from my side.
How many people apply for the national team in UK?
This year, yeah.
More than 100?
No, not even. I could actually check here if I count them. If you give me like
I
one
mean,
minute.
how many people push the button, like the
Oh
send,
yeah,
like you? I
one,
mean,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So it's more than that. I know that for sure. Oh, I didn't count those. 3, 24, 25, 26, 27. I think it looks like it's 29 or 30.
29 or 30. Okay. So it's a difficult selection for the captain because he needs to keep track of all of these people achievements and proficiencies and so
Hmm.
on.
Hmm. But
Uh,
it's
it's
also. Oh, sorry, carry on, Daniel.
I guess no, you don't have a federation or sponsors, or it's only through you do this kind of things in your spare time. I mean, you don't have a federation who pays the national team or
No,
things like.
we are not France. I just wear the shirt for decoration. It's not France. It's not all paid by by the community. Oh god, as much as I wish it would. No, so it's like all like independent. Like if you want to go to WTC, you're gonna have to pay for a part of the ticket. Like Team England will subsidize as much as it can from the year's funds, so like from its like treasury that it has for the year, for like even lunches, subsidize as much of like the flights or ticket as much as possible. But largely part of that is still paid for by the players. It's not like there are a few sponsors for Team England. I don't know how much those sponsors give, or like what sort of agreements they have. That's not my role to know. But I know there are a few sponsorships there. But I know for a majority of it, it's still quite largely paid for by members of the team that are going would have to pay for themselves, for example.
Cool. So this aspect is still, I mean, in development as far as
Mhm.
I understand. So going back to you, you will to come to our tournament last year. We had a person you maybe know, Mr. Manichima.
Never heard of him.
Never had. No,
Never heard of him.
he's a nice guy. He's quite a good boy. And he came. He enjoyed a lot. He was really full of good feelings for us. We hope the same for you
Of
for your
course.
experience this year.
It was also I watched the stream last year when he played vs Nicola.
Nicola,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. When we played vs Nicola was like,
I think he slipped onto a banana in that game. And it can happen. It can happen. Sometimes, no, you fall in a trap and you can't do anything.
yeah,
You're outside of it.
yeah.
And,
Because I know Nicola's not very good, so it's
no,
not.
Nicola is one of our midfielder. We call
Yeah, exactly.
player.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
He
Yeah.
claims to be the most gifted, but he's the most drunk.
Yeah, I was gonna say most gifted. Uh, he is the most special. There we go.
No, he's a cool player. Yes. But he needs to train more because far from the events, he usually sleeps and seeks women. Or man, I don't know his taste is.
Both. Why not both for him?
Well, yeah, maybe yes, both and together. But okay, being told that without revealing your choices or your expectation, we know there will be soon a balanced data slate that
Mhm.
could impair all of the players' tactics, strategies. But would like to know when you approach an event, which is your routine to arrived prepared to the event.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess when I walk up to an event slash I'm preparing for an event is I will try. Well, one I'll see what armies I can reasonably get access to, how much runtime I can have, and figure out what is good in the meta. Pardon me, and that is either armies that are good, but also archetypes that are good. So currently in the meta, there's I'd say 2 to 3 good archetypes, and then more good armies. The meta's quite balanced, I would like to say, to a relative sense, and in the fact of armies. But there's different archetypes in the meta that are currently good. For example, today there's um, the transports everywhere, quite good, very strong. Some of the top armies are taking transports. CSM, got Marines taking transports. You've got Sisters taking transports. There's like a lot of good armies taking transports. You also have armies that have good indirect. Sisters have good indirect. Horde have good indirect. God have good indirect. Marines can have good indirect. And you also have like hordes. CSM with a cursed cultist, very good with hordes. You have, pardon me, you have nids that are not too bad. Also, they have a horde approach. Black Templars, the Million Bodies, very good horde as well. So it's just analyzing those sorts of armies that are in the meta, and then thinking, okay, what list can I build that maybe doesn't smash that army completely? It doesn't have to, beat it 20-0. That's not its role. But what army can I take that has at least an answer for all of those armies and also can put a good amount of pressure onto them? I'm notoriously known for liking guns. I do like guns. It'd be a lie to say I don't. Um, so with my approach, it's like, how can I apply how can I answer those questions that the meta has given me, um, and how can I give these and essentially what sort of problems can I also cause to the meta with the list that I'm taking? Because the list that I will usually take will not be something that is maybe like the top meta. I've made a couple exceptions of like Eldari because that was crazy for LGT. That was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Um, and essentially it'd be okay. This is the army that I am running. No other army in the meta has an answer for me, but I have an answer for them.
Mm-hmm.
What problems can I cause you? And if I go into this game, do I have a win condition? If I do, perfect. That's all I want really. And the build up to that, it'd be getting the models ready, asking, hey, can I get this model? Can I get this model for a few friends if I don't own the army? Um, for the example being like a good example I'd like to give is when I was prepping for LGT, and I was like, I want to take Eldari. I gave myself, I think, because at the time I was in France as well for my cousin's wedding, and as you do, you build lists on your phone, um, and I was like, okay, this is the type of list I want to take. This sort of archetype. I was always like, I want to take 20 Wraith Guard. People are struggling to deal with 10. Here's 20.
Yes.
I was like, I'm gonna cause that problem for everyone. Now that comes at the risk of that is very good vs tanks, very good vs heavy, like heavy the armies. So, but vs hordes, no real answer. But hordes are not a common thing, and it's like doing the preparation, being like, okay, what matchups is this good against? What matchups is this bad against? What does this want to play against? How would I deploy this on this terrain set? And essentially going from there, being like, okay, I have a good matchup with Tau, blah 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 blah. Oh, CSM with a curse, a bit of a problem. Oh, Nids with loads of swarm because like swarm Tyranids and Space Marines have just come out then. Oh, bit of a problem. Um, I saw Black like I think Black Templars are out of the time. No, Black Templars are not out of the time. So Black Templars are not too much of a problem. Like there was no other holders. Like okay, apart from maybe CSM, which people were still taking obliterators, which do nothing vis Wraithguard, like dreadful. Um, and Nids, which was and specifically the Swarm Nids, I was like, okay, I feel quite comfortable with everything in the meta currently. And also the meta was a bit less established because there was a balanced data slate, no events, LGT. So it gave me the opportunity to also be like, okay, Eldar's still very good. People were taking like 10 Wraith Guard, all of the MSU stuff, and then being like, okay, here's 10, here's another 10. They're very, very tough to kill, very durable.
Yeah.
They help with one of Eldar's main problem, which was at the time, it's like they can score secondaries very well. But most importantly, because you have the Wraith Guards, you can score primary really well, and it's hard to interact and jump into them because if people try to shoot you, shoot them back, you regrow, etc., etc. So that was like my mentality going up for the stat event for LGT when how I approached the list building and the preparation.
It seems you developed much extensive brainstorming before actually making a choice, no?
Mm-hmm.
So
Planning.
I hoped for a much simpler reply, but thank God I won't play against you in this event. So this will be someone else's business.
Someone else's problem, not yours.
Being told that you know the other guys who will be joining the event. I know you went to the Worlds in Atlanta
Mm-hmm.
last November.
Yes. My first game lost to an Italian.
Oh shit! But
Yeah.
yes, Eduardo. Eduardo is a
Yeah.
friend of mine. Yes.
Yeah. I'll get my revenge.
He was playing Imperial Guard.
I know he was one of the inspirations for why I'm playing Imperial Guard. I was like, you know what, I own Guard, and then I played these guards that my next event Leicester 2 weeks afterwards, and I was using Modi and I was like, yeah, I really want to play Guard again after Atlanta and now Leicester. I want to play Guard again.
But you were not playing.
No,
Imperial
no,
Guard
I was,
in
I was
Atlanta.
playing Marines.
Space Marines.
Yes, did not go well. It did not go well.
And I think you didn't play with the other two Italian players, which were there, which are Nicola and Marco. I don't know if you glimpse somebody really funny leaping in the hole.
A bit more tanned.
Yeah,
Bit more
these
exposed to
guys
sunlight.
were our champions.
Love
Marco
it.
is won the Italian Grand Tournament, and Nicola was second this year. So they are under our rules entitled to participate to the event.
They were representing Italy.
Yes, no, I mean also in the forthcoming event of which you will be joining too. Anyway, you are past 10 minutes of our time. I would like to ask you a last question, and maybe you want to reply. What will you play in this event? Did you understand? You have to make two lists.
I did. 1 second, let me bring them. One. Here's another one.
This looks like Custodes.
Oh yes, exactly. It's nice and gold, nice and silver.
Golden, the golden armor.
Exactly. Golden indirect. It's a Custodes tank, as you can see. Custodes tank. It's really good at shooting. It hits on twos. It might as well be a Custodes tank.
Must cost a lot of points.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's worth the price. Put it back over there. There we go.
Marco is telling me that you already played against him in a tournament at LVO.
Oh, LVO. Not this year, last year. Yes, I remember. Oh, he had his Blood Angels and I had my Tau. Oh, I remember that game. I felt really bad because Tau was so busted. It was just shooting. Oh, I remember.
You were playing Blood Angels, or
No, he was playing Blood Angels. I was playing Tau. Tau, yeah, that was.
I didn't know you already played. Marco told me this for the first time. How was this game?
Yeah, I actually can't remember the score. I know I remember I won, and I remember shooting a lot of Sanguinary Guard dead. But yeah, no, it was good. It highlighted why I hate playing Place Terrain. So, yes, I remember that game. That was fun. Oh,
Okay, you will have the chance to play again, and then
he can get his revenge.
I know you have sworn to bring back one trophy from this tournament.
Yeah, of course, easy.
And I want to reassure you, because every player will have at least one trophy. So
yes, coming back with a trophy.
You don't need to win the event at all costs.
Perfect. It's great.
That's
I've
it.
got my participation trophy. First, second, third. Thanks for coming. Last place.
Then you will give us a picture of your Hall of Heroes.
Exactly.
Room in your house.
It's everywhere. I'll take a picture and send it later.
You need a new house for that.
I need a new room.
Okay. Okay, Nassim. I thank you for joining us for this brief interview.
Thank you for having me.
We didn't tire you too much, and we will keep in touch for further details.
Mm-hmm.
You know when you should give us your lists. So think carefully about your
my list.
you will be choices.
Two different lists, 500 points apart. I got it. One with indirect, one with more indirect.
See you soon in Italy. Take care and bye bye.
Bye bye. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao. Nassim.